Hey, you, I don't like your girlfriend. What the hell am I doing? Right, I am recording this straight after my last video, which was a half-hour long ramble. So I am absolutely dead, my voice is gone. And yeah, so enjoy. This is going to be a sort of rundown, like in the last video, sort of rundown of my team building thoughts, and then a sort of analysis of the battle, my week 2 battle versus the Zimbabwe Zoroarks. So yeah, I'm just going to jump straight into it. These are horrifically awkward, but enjoy. Right, so my team, just sort of run it through for you again, is Tornadus, Therian, Victini, Scizor, Tangrowth, Slowking, Sylveon, Salamence, Magnezone, Crocodile, Crobat, and Smeargle. My opponent this week, Zimbabwe Zoroarks, have got Kyurem Black, Tapu Koko, Mew, Gliscor, Vaporeon, Silvally, Volcanion, Cobalion, Delmise, Umbreon, and Licky Licky. Right, so I'm looking at this team. This team's a terrifying team. The amount of offensive potential that he's got between the Kyurem Black and the Tapu Koko. And Silvally, you're never going to know what's going to happen with that. You got Mew for utility, he's got Gliscor and Vaporeon, and Volcanion to a certain extent, and Delmise. He's got like a really good defensive core as well. So I'm looking at this team and I'm thinking, I'm kind of terrified. The first thought that I have is that Kyurem Black needs to be stopped. And so I'm bringing, not a choice specs variant this time, but I'm bringing LGBTEV the Sylveon. Just a bog standard, specially defensive. Yeah, it's just a cleric. It's going to provide a good switch into the Kyurem Black. It's got Hyper Voice, Wish, Protect, Heal Bell. Is going to be good. He's going to be good. Yeah, also the Sylveon provides a good switch into any special Tapu Koko, and going off that, any special Mon in general, to be honest. The thing that worries me with the Kyurem Black is the potential for Iron Head, but I can work around that. Between Terry and Magnezone, they both make really good switch-ins for an Iron Head. So I'm not overly worried about the Kyurem Black anymore. I think I've got enough answers to it with Sylveon alone, barring the Iron Head, but we'll get to that. So I'm thinking, okay, Kyurem Black, don't need to worry about prepping too much more for that. What's the next threat on the list? On this long, extensive list that he's got of threats, and I'm thinking, oh, Tapu Koko, oh, I need a ground type, oh, Crocodile. And then I'm thinking, oh, Crocodile's part dark, oh, Tapu Koko's part fairy. It's not really much of a switch-in. But if he brings a choiced Tapu Koko in any way, then at least I can stop Volt Switch spam. So I'm bringing the sashed lead Crocodile with Stealth Rock, because I didn't bring hazards in my last game, and that's probably a bit of an oversight on my part. So I'm thinking, remember Luke, hazards, they're a thing. I was also considering bringing Taunt, so that I could stop any sort of fun that Mew wants to have, but at the same time I'm thinking, who's going to leave a Mew in on a Crocodile anyway? It would have been quite nice to have the Taunt for Vaporeon, but on the flip side, I'm not going to want to stay in on a Vaporeon because the Scald is going to do heavy damage to me. So I've got the Earthquake just for general stab, and it deals with the Tapu Koko. Got Knockoff because that's an incredible utility move. I love knock-off mons. I've got the superpower for the Kyurem Black to do a bit more damage to that, and the Umbreon. Yeah, sorry, I just completely lost the train of thought. Yeah, so I'm bringing superpower for that reason. Sorry, I just really lost the train of thought. Yeah, we're not going Adamant, we're going Jolly with 176 EVs in speed, which allows me to outspeed a modest Kyurem Black. Obviously, Crocodile is based 92 speed and Kyurem Black is based 95, so I'm never going to outspeed a Timid or Adamant. No, Timid or Jolly, sorry, Kyurem Black. But this investment allows me to outspeed a modest or Adamant Kyurem Black, which won't be too bad because it takes 25% from the stealth rocks, and then a superpower should be able to do the rest from there. So yeah, Crocodile, he's alright. Next we have Mangrowth, the Tangrowth, who was a pretty good mon in the last game. He provided a fair few safe or relatively safe switch-ins. He stopped my opponent's momentum a fair bit in the last game, and that's basically what I wanted to do this time. Bringing the Leaf Storm for general stab, and it also deals with the Vaporeon. Got the Hidden Power Ice for the Gliscor, even though it's probably not going to take a Leaf Storm anyway. Also for the Delmise. What else we got? We got Focus Blast again because we want some coverage against the Kyurem Black. And we got Earthquake for the Tapu Koko. Now this thing, it's the same EV spread, I do believe. It's the same sort of thought behind it. It's a sassy 252 special defense with the Assault Vest. I can't really switch into Kyurem Black's Ice Beam, but it can switch into any other move that Kyurem Black wants to perhaps lock itself into, assume it's choice. It's a really good switch in for the Tapu Koko. I can scare it out with the Earthquake. It's just what Tangrowth does best, what it did in the last game, what it's gonna hopefully do for the rest of the season is it's not just a good switch in, it's also it's a momentum stopper. Like my opponent can be like, if he's in a situation where he can just click a move and take out most of my team, I can just bring in Tangrowth, just say boom, you click your move, I'm gonna eat that up, and you just suddenly lost everything that you had going for you. Sorry, mate. Yeah, so Tangrowth is alright. Then we got Victini. Right. Just like in the last game when I had Tornadus up until the last sort of 5-10 minutes, with this Victini I had a choice banded, pretty much the same Victini as last time with the V-Create, the Bolt Strike, the Trick and the U-Turn. That's pretty much the exact set that I had on this one until... So I was running through a few calcs and I was like, oh, Gliscor can switch into this quite well, but oh well, and Vaporeon can switch into this quite well, but oh well. And so like Victini was going to be a bit of like a wall breaker, but it's my opponent could deal with it. I'd have to work around that. And I was thinking, well, what could I do to change that? What could I do to make Victini a bit more threatening? And what I decided was Special Victini. He has 0 switch-ins for a Special Victini. Just looking through, I'll read through it again. Kyurem Black, Tapu Koko, Mew, Gliscor, Vaporeon, Silvally, Volcanion, Cobalion, Delmise. I've never know how to pronounce these names. Is it Delmise? Delmise? I suppose it's like Demise. So Delmise, yeah. Umbreon and Licky Licky. I suppose Licky Licky could eat a special hit, maybe, an Assault Vest Licky Licky. Volcanion, to be fair, even though I've got Thunderbolt, so yeah, like he doesn't really have any switch-ins to this Victini. I suppose a defensive Mew could do it, but I can, you know, I can work around it. Yeah, I went with the Life Orb because I didn't want to lock myself into anything. This thing is basically just there to punch holes. I just did that. Yeah, it's got 216 EVs in speed, so it can outspeed a modest Kyurem Black. You can tell that I'm quite scared of this thing. Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the Crocodile there. No, I'm lying to you. This outspeeds a timid or jolly Kyurem Black, because I mean I don't need to worry about outspeeding a Mew because it'll probably be a more defensive utility based Mew anyway. And yeah, so I didn't really need to worry about outspeeding the base 100 Mew. His next fastest is Cobalion with 108, and Cobalion can't do anything to Victini anyway, so I don't need to worry about outspeeding that. Tapu Koko is the next fastest on 130, I'm never going to outspeed that anyway. So all I needed to really worry about was outspeeding the Kyurem Black and the Silvally, which are both 95 base speed. So the rest I could just invest in 40 HP and 40 EVs and HP, just give it a bit of extra bulk, why not? Next we've got Magnezone, without doubt the MVP. Gotta stop hiccuping. The MVP from the last game. It's pretty much the same set again, I'm just bringing Hidden Power Ice instead of Fire to help sort of deal with the Gliscor and stuff. Yeah, this set allows me to outspeed a Jolly Gliscor if he wants to bring a more offensive variant with maybe a Swords Dance and whatever. So yeah, we can outspeed that. Again, it's choice, and I don't like being locked in too much, but choice of Magma Zone is just it's really good. It the flash cannon super effective against the Kyurem. It's neutral against the Tapu Koko. Like obviously, I'm super effective against the Vaporeon. I've got Ice for the Gliscor. He doesn't have much of a switch into the Magma Zone if he mispredicts what I'm going to lock myself into. So that's a decent Magma Zone. You're all right. Next we've got Terry. We went with a defensive Terry this time because I figured it's got enough natural bulk to sort of take special hits if it needs to, and it's never going to eat a Tapu Koko hit whether it's fully invested in special defense or not. So we decided what's the point. This also provides a really good switch into Kyurem. I think I've got 3 Pokemon dedicated to Kyurem. I've got the Sylveon, the Tangrowth, and the Slowking. Because basically what I'm thinking is, like I like to run a lot of Protect on Mons anyway, but I just lost my train of thought. But especially in Draft League format, Protect is really good because you can sort of predict what choiced items you can sort of predict which Pokemon on your opponent's team are going to carry the choiced items, and you can protect Scout to see what they're going to lock themselves into, and then you can work around that. And the only real Kyurem that I see is a choiced Kyurem, generally choice Scarfed, sometimes Banded, sometimes even Specs. But I was thinking, in my head, I'm just like, oh, it's Kyurem, he's got a very good choice. So I've got Protect on Slowking, I've got Protect on the Victini, on an offensive one, just because, why not? Obviously can't run Protect on Tangrowth because of the Assault Vest. I've got Protect on Sylveon. So the idea behind this is Sylveon's a dedicated switch to Kyurem. I can go with the Protect, and if he locks himself into the Iron Head, then I can switch out into Slowking. Maybe if I have Slowking out and he's got Kyurem out and I want to see what he's going to go into, what move he's going to lock himself into, I go for the Protect. Say he goes for the Dragon Claw or the Outrage, then I can switch into Sylveon. Say he goes for the Ice Beam, then I can stay in with Slowking. If he goes for the Earth Power, then I can switch into Tangrowth. Like, I think having Protect really counters choiced Mons so well. So yeah, also my laptop's sounding like a thing, so I do apologise for that. Also, another reason why I got Protect, it's a little bit cheeky of me, but I'm running a Toxic on Slowking, and I'm thinking if I can get a Toxic off on anyone, then I can protect Toxics all a little bit. I don't like playing like that, but sometimes it's kind of essential because the Zimbabwe Zoroarks, they've got a really offensively oriented team, and I don't have the straight up offense to match that, so I need to play more passively, if you get what I mean. I've also got the substitute on the Slowking in case I find myself one-on-one against the Vaporeon. I can get a free substitute as he switches out, because he's not going to switch in against Slowking, staying against Slowking, because there's nothing you can do. So if I get free sub up as he switches out on Slowking, then at the very least I'm getting a free Toxic or a free Scald on one of his mons. So, and also I didn't really need a Psychic or a Psyshock. I didn't really need any other move there, so I was just like, chuck a sub on, why not? So yeah, that's sort of the thinking behind that. How long have we been going? 13 minutes. This video is going to be longer than the last one, and I was telling myself, Luke, make it shorter. Jesus, who even watches these? Yeah. Sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought again. Let's just... So, basically, I'm just going to... Yeah. I'm just going to keep saying yeah until I think of something to say. Got switch-ins for Kyurem. Switch-ins for Tapu Koko. I can deal with his walls quite well. Victini's going to be doing a lot of wall breaking. Magma Zone's going to be doing a lot of late game sort of sweeping or cleaning up like he did last time. And yeah, my main aim is just to sort of chip away at his offensive threats, because I don't have that offense to sort of match up against his. So I'm expecting him to play an offensive game. I'm going to play a more passive game. Let's see what happens. So yeah, what does he bring? He brings the Silvally, the Volcanion, the Kyurem Black, the Mew, the Gliscor, the Tapu Koko. No real surprises there, I don't think. I think I'm sort of prepared for every one of these eventualities. Say that a bit weird. So Yeah, let's just jump straight into it. Who do I lead off with? I can't remember. I'd lead off with the Crocodile, because I'm just there like, yeah, I'll get me rocks up, I've got a sash. If he wants to lead off with the Mew, I can do damage to it. He leads off with the Volcanion, and I'm like, that's perfect, I can Earthquake. I open up my calcs. Earthquake only does like 50-60%, like, what the hell? So, and obviously you can take me out with Steam Eruption. So I'm thinking, okay, this looks like a good matchup for me. It's not. So I switch out here, I go into Slowking. Because you can do pretty much, like, Slowking can wall any hit that Volcanion wants to go for within reason, I think. So what does he do? He goes into the Tapu Koko. I'm just like, I get a safe Toxic off here. And boom, that's one Mon Toxic. And I've got 3 Mons with Protect. So Tapu Koko's going to have a lot of fun here. A lot of fun just being chipped away by Protect Toxic Stall. We love playing like dickheads. Right, so obviously he's going to go... Right, at this point I'm thinking, he's either choiced into Thunderbolt or he's going to go for the Volt Switch. And he actually revealed that he's not choiced. And there's no Life Orb, so I'm assuming like an Expert Belt set maybe? But either way, Mangrove is a really safe switch in. So yeah, he goes out into the Mew. And I'm just thinking, let's go into Crocodile, scare it out with a knockoff. This thing goes for Calm Mind, and I'm like, oh, that's a bit scary. What's going to be like a Calm Mind Baton Pass, Calm Mind Sweeper? Like, I'm thinking it's not going to be a Calm Mind Sweeper because you can't set up on turn 5, but apparently it was. So yeah, he goes for the Ice Beam. I know that I can live any one hit of his. So I go for the knockoff, and I'm thinking another Ice Beam is going to take me out. Crocodile doesn't have that much use anymore since it's been knocked down to its sash. But it's always nice to sort of keep it as any kind of like death fodder, or it still stops the Volt Switch spams from Tapu Koko, so I'm going to keep it around. Going to into Sylveon because I can take any special hit that isn't a Psyshock. He reveals... Sorry, let's just watch that again. Let's just watch that again. Right. He goes... I need to stop pausing it during animations. Right, let's just get Sylveon out and he goes for a flamethrower. We've seen that. Sorry, I keep repeating myself. I'm going to pause it there. Because at this point he's revealed Calm Mind, Ice Beam and Flamethrower. I'm thinking, okay, well his last move's going to be Recover, right? Or Soft Boiled. Because he wants to keep this thing alive, because he's going for the more bulky sweep. So I'm thinking, Sylveon's a safe switching. Or, you know, even if he doesn't have the soft boiled, he's gonna have like Calm Mind, Ice Beam, Flamethrower, and some kind of stab, like a Psychic or a Psyshock. And then I saw the Z, and I was like, oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? Bloody Acid Downfall, we live it on 9%. I think that was a roll. My opponent was saying after the game that was a roll, and he didn't poison me either. I'm not sure how any moves work, but I would imagine that could probably poison me. It's an Acid Downpour, for God's sake. So yeah, I live that. I just went for the Wish because I was thinking, oh, if he Ice Beams me, I can live it, I can get a Wish off, get back to full health, whatever. So yeah, it blew my mind. Like, how is Sylveon living a +1 Acid Downpour from a base 100 special attack need? Like that. It is just incredible. So I love Sylveon so much. I can tell you something, my other favourite fairy, Clefable would have died to that. So yeah, it reveals that Sludge Bomb was the base for the Acid Downpour. I'm not really surprised. I go for the Hyper Voice because even though this thing's at +2 special defense, I know it's got no recovery because it got rid of the leftovers, and it's revealed that it doesn't have soft boiled. So I'm just trying to wear this thing down at this point. I know that another Sludge Bomb will kill, so I'm just like, I'm going to sack off Crocodile. I was saying that I'm going to keep it around for Death Fodder. Turns out Death Fodder turn comes up 5 turns later, but whatever. So at this point I'm going to Gliscor. He predicts like a Thunderbolt or a Volt Switch or something on the Mew, so he goes out into Gliscor. I was just thinking, well, Flash Cannon, I did the calcs, Flash Cannon kills Mew at that point anyway. And he's got no real resist to it apart from Volcanion. He's not going to switch a Volcanion straight into a Magnezone because, like I was saying, the potential Volt Switch or Thunderbolt. So I just did 50% to a Gliscor. Now at this point the Volcanion switch was really obvious. He knows that I'm choice, so he can at least guess it. So maybe keeping Magnezone in and going for that second Flash Cannon, sorry, there, it probably was a bad play. But I was just like, I can take out this Gliscor straight away, and I hate Gliscor. So yeah, you bring in Volcanion, I bring in Slowking. He knows that I'm bringing in Slowking because I've revealed that that's my switch into a Volcanion before, so he goes into the Tapu Koko, which is a great play on his part. But what I can do here, I can just like, protect. Bloody protect. Let's get some more toxic damage on this Tapu Koko. I haven't dealt any direct damage to that Tapu Koko, and it's already at 64%. Like, toxic's still filthy. So I'm just like, yeah, Kenny Loggins, he'll be a decent switch, whatever. As he goes out into Silvally and reveals Silvally Dragon, which is definitely a weird one. I did sort of think during the game, and he did reveal afterwards, that the Silvally is Dragon. Sort of give him some kind of a switch into Victini, which is, yeah, that's fair enough. I'll give him that. So he's got the Parting Shot, which is a really, really good move actually. I didn't realise Silvally got it. So he can get a free switch into Kyurem, and at this point, like I was saying in the team builder, Kyurem's going to be choiced. I know it's going to be choiced. So I'm going to Terry go for the Protect. I know that he's choiced into Fusion Bolt, or at least I'm like 95% certain. So going to the Tangrowth. He goes for the Fusion Bolt again, and this is the moment of truth. It's like, is he choiced? Is he not? He switches, so he's choiced. And I'm like, that Kyurem is suddenly so much less threatening now. I go for Leaf Storm because he's got no real switch into it. As my opponent sacks off the Gliscor, and that is the electric immunity off the field. Magnezone is back, boys. So yeah, this Kyurem, I was so worried about it before the game, but once he's revealed that he is in fact choiced, as I kind of thought he was going to be, it's so much easier to deal with between my sort of three-part core of Sylveon, Tangrowth, and Slowking. So yeah, I go for the Focus Blast because I know it can do damage to the Kyurem and anything really switching in. And Silvally reveals Rest. So right now it's got Parting Shot and Rest, I think. I don't think it's revealed anything else, can't remember. But yeah, Thin Power Ice just to get a bit of damage off, whatever. At this point I can go into Sylveon because basically I knew that Sylveon was going to be massively useful for me, essential in this battle, and up against the Mew, it got itself down to like 25%. I was thinking the first opportunity I get to get a wish off on Sylveon for free and get back up to a reasonable amount of HP, I've got to go for it. This Silvally goes to sleep in front of me. I'm like, this is my chance. He actually has the Sleep Talk, and that reveals the Thunderbolt. So he's revealed his full 4 moves are Parting Shot, Rest, Sleep Talk, Thunderbolt. And I'm thinking, this Silvally's not even slightly scary anymore. It's Dragon type, it doesn't even have Dragon Stab. It's clearly there as a pivot, as a defensive pivot. But I'm not really too worried about defensive pivots. Like, I was thinking, Silvally, it's going to be a really scary offensive mon because I won't know what it does. Now I know exactly what it does, and it's a lot less scary. So, Thunderbolt's only doing 10%, so I know that I can get a really safe wish off. And now I can protect. Not only does it get my wish recovery back, but it will also reveal what the Kyurem's deciding to lock himself into this time. He does reveal the Iron Head, which I knew he'd have anyway. And like I was saying in the team builder, I've got my choice Iron Head switch in, which is Slowking, which I do right here. And as we know from before, Slowking pretty much walls the Volcanion. So I'm just like, he's gonna switch out, I can get out a free sub. And at this point I'm like, wait, I've got Toxic and Scald, this sub is doing nothing for me. I need to take advantage of the Silvally while it's asleep, so I'm just gonna waste the sub, switch out into Sylveon, because as we know, Silvally cannot do anything against Sylveon. So yeah, let's get a free Hyper Voice. It's only 20%, but Volcanion's got no recovery, so sort of any damage against this Volcanion is good damage. He reveals the Sludge Wave. It's not going to do too much to me, it's like 30-40% or something, so I know. I think he actually predicted me switching to the Magnezone there because I'd resist or be immune to the Sludge Wave, but I was just like, I'm living a Sludge Wave, it's fine. So he goes for the Sludge Wave, it does 40%, it's a little bit worrisome, but it's not the worst thing. Because at this point, I'm just like I was saying, Volcanion's got no reliable recovery, I just need to wear it down. If I can do that, then I'm golden. So he goes into the Kyurem Black. Why did I not? I probably should have Hyper Voice there, but at this point I'm just worried about keeping myself alive because Sylveon is so essential to this team in this battle. So I just protect, see what he's going to lock himself into. He's into the Iron Head. So What do I do? Going for Magma Zone, yeah, because I've quad this Iron Head. That's another switch into to the Kyurem that I forgot to mention. I can go for the Volt switch because I thought he was going to switch, but he doesn't. What does he do here? He just goes to the Parting Shot. Like this Still Valley, it's a bit annoying, but it's not any kind of a threat whatsoever. So you guys don't for Volcanion. He goes to the Sludge Wave. Blah blah blah. He gets a Wish. Like this is a bit of a boring part of the battle now, so I'm going to stick that onto Fast. He goes for Steam Eruption, either predicting the switch or trying to get burn. Yeah, he's got the Hyper Voice again, just chipping away. And I think here he gets the Poison. He does get the Poison, which he deserves. He's done enough Sludge Waves. Actually no, Sludge Wave's only 10%, isn't it? Yeah, I was thinking Sludge Bomb, never mind. But yeah, I'm just like protect, whatever, get me HP back, doesn't matter. Mew, I can just take out with a Hyper Voice. But I know that he's not doing much to move the Sludge Bomb, so I can get free Heal Bell off and get rid of that Poison. Now, Sylveon is just so healthy. I love the Sylveon set. He goes into the Calm Mind. I'm not sure why. He's probably just sacking it off, but I could have taken him out with a Hyper Voice. But anyway, I'm just like, oh, toxic this Mew. Just in case it decides to try and do something, I can put it on a timer, on a tiny timer at 8% health. Go for Protect just to see what he's going to do. And again, because that Protect failed, I can go for another one. Yeah, he choices himself into the Iron Head, so I know that I'm supposed to stay in. Which I don't do, going for Victini, alright. Like I say, these battles, they sort of like last week or early this week, I can't remember, but it was a few days ago. I can't quite remember every single play. But yeah, Fighter Man, I've just revealed Protect on the Fighter Man again. That Tapu Koko is down so low on health and I haven't even attacked it once. Which is great. I can get off the Focus Blast on the Kyurem because I can live anything. I know that he's locked into Ice Beam, so he's not going to be doing much to Sylveon unless he gets a crit, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I know that barring another crit I can live another one, so I'll go for the Wish, get off a nice Protect, and you know, we're all golden. We're back up at what, 76% health. This Sylveon is not being taken out. Now I think I made a really risky play here. Right, so he's going for the Sludge Wave. He's doing between 36 and 41% of my health. Right, so I've just gone for a Wish. What I should do here is go for the Protect. I can get a safe Protect off, go straight back up to full, but in my mind I'm just like, oh, it's the same matchup again. I'll just go for a Hyper Voice and chip this thing's health down a little bit. So he goes for Sludge Wave. I was risking not only a crit but a poison as well. If he would have crit or poisoned here, he would have taken out Sylveon. Thankfully he does neither. And so yeah, I can get the Wish off and I'm back up at health and Volcanion's on 2%. Go for the Protect, I'm literally just trying to get HP back here, I'm stalling it so much. But yeah, he goes for another Sludge Wave. This time I go for Protect because I was thinking I'm not making that mistake again. I'm not putting it down to a crit or a 10% poison chance for me to lose my Sylveon and potentially lose the game. So at this point I'm just wishing, protecting up until I get to enough health where I feel safe doing the Hyper Voice, as done there, and the Volcanion's gone. Now he doesn't really have any switch-ins to a Flash Cannon from a Magma Zone, which is really, really nice. Just protect again. Basically every time Kyurem comes in, I know that I'm safe to go for the Protect. So yeah, Victini is a safe switch into a Protect, into an Iron Head, because even when it's a crit it does 30%. Go for the Blue Flare, and Victini is off the mark for the Bulbahampton window. Go for the Glaciate. Probably a stupid move because I knew from the calc it wasn't going to kill. He goes for the Parting Shot out into Tapu Koko. As I was saying before, I think I've revealed it before, I've got the Protect on Party Man. And so Tapu Koko is on 28% and I haven't hit it with one move yet. Like, this is filthy. I'm going to Tangrowth because I know I can live any hit, and this thing's on 10%. I've just taken this, actually, yeah, I took it out with the Hidden Power to deal the last 8.9% of its health, but that first, 91.1% of damage that I did to that Tapu Koko was purely through toxic stalling, and I hate myself, but I love myself for it. So yeah, Hyper Voice at that point, takes out the Silver Valley, takes out the Kyurem. I go for Protect here, just in case he went for the Iron Head and took out my Sylveon. obviously I'd win the game by this point, but I'm thinking I'd rather win by a 5-0 differential than a 4-0 differential, because differentials in this league do matter. So that protect might have made me look like a bit of a dickhead, you know, stalling it out when I don't need to, but I feel like in this draft league format it is kind of essential. So that's just to sort of justify that move. So yeah, go 5 boys, and we win. I'm so happy with how I played in this game. When I lost Crocodile right at the start, I was thinking, oh man, it's going to be one of those days, one of those bad days at the office. But yeah, him choicing his Kyurem really hindered him in the end. He did actually tell me afterwards that it was a mistake and he was meant to bring the Babiri Berry, that's a fun word to say, Babiri Berry, on the Kyurem and not the choice band. Yeah, like that. It's definitely unfortunate they brought the wrong item, but it's just one of those things where you've got to double check, triple check what items all your Pokemon have got before a battle. So I still think I definitely deserved that win. I played so well. There was barely any misplays whatsoever. Like I think having Protect on so many ones like this it was just a really good battle all round. It was really well prepared by me. It was really well played by me. And yeah, if I can keep up this kind of a form, I've played 2-1-2 at this point, and I'm playing really well. This is definitely one of the best starts I've had to a draft league. It's one of the best teams I've drafted. Like I know this is a free draft, so obviously it will be one of the best, but I feel more confident in this team and with my matchups than I have with teams in the past. And yeah, I'm going to stop rambling now. It's another win. We're 2-0, and we're feeling pretty damn good. See ya.